Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Rock D. Lee jumping into a episode review of Mushoku Tensei. If you're unfamiliar with who I am, I have a reaction channel at your boy Rock Lee, and every now and then I come across a dope episode and I want to talk about it separately without having to worry about my almighty algorithm if I post something that not a lot of people watch. If you're not following me on Twitter, you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and do so. If there's other topics that you want me to cover, go ahead and drop in as a suggestion. I might go ahead and do so. But anyways, let's jump into Mushoku Tensei episode 22. Why? Because it's been incredibly controversial. That last episode, I've seen reactors say they're quitting the show. People commented our video and they were like, because our reaction video, check for the link in the description of this video. But people commented our reaction. They're like, man, you guys are so mature, whatever. And I'm like, what? I took it 100% natural. Now, why are people so opposed to the episode of 22? Well, it all depends on your viewpoint. Let's keep an open mind, guys. I am going to try to cover everybody's angle, and then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts at the end. So there's two viewers. There's two ways to view Rudy. The first view is exactly how we're looking at him right now. I don't know if you guys are looking at. I'm looking at Ghislaine as I'm talking right now. The S is silent. I struggle with this, but I'm not even looking at him right now. But anyways, let me focus. Hold on. Let me block this out real quick. Okay, there's Rudy right here. If that's how you view Rudy, him and Eris having some serious sex. Let's just say it. They were having sex. If that's how you view Rudy and him and Eris smash, you guys are okay with it, for the most part. There's another subgroup that's saying, why are these young people doing it? And we could talk about that, but that didn't seem to be the most popular of the controversial topics, right? Now, there's another camp, and I'll show you which camp I'm in. If you're in this camp, guys, hold up. Ah, fudge, hold on. My volume is messed up. Hold on, guys. I guess this will work. Okay, good. We're moving. All right. So if you're in that camp and that's how you view Rudy, you're going to have huge problems with his relationship with Eris. And I can't blame you. And you guys really shouldn't blame these kinds of people either. Okay. And sometimes that's how Rudy views himself. I mean, he gets, every now and then he sees God and he's in this form. It's a constant reminder to viewers that he's not a traditional 14-year-old kid. Notice how I use the word traditional. He's not a traditional 14-year-old kid, okay? We constantly see this form and we constantly hear his adult voice. Even after his deed with Eris. Why is it so hard for me to say? Actually, I know why it's so hard, because even I'm like, ugh. But anyways, even after his deed with Eris, the first voice that you hear is his man voice. You don't hear the child voice, okay? And you really can't be mad at people that are outraged about this, because these are our protectors. These are some, unless they're gaslighting, and gaslighting, I think I use the right word. Some people are projecting where they actually have something inside of them. And you never find these congressmen that are the most anti-whatever, and they get caught with a whole bunch of it on their computer or something like that. You know what I mean? So sometimes people are projecting because there's something else that they got to worry about. But that's not. I'm going to err on the side of caution. So back to what I was trying to say. These are some of these are the protectors of society. These people who are outraged of this version of Rudy and Eris, these are the ones who, if your daughter was in a similar situation, they would be outraged and they'd want this man hanged, and they'd be protecting our young ladies in society. We have to view them that way. Okay? And then there's a group of you guys who just see the nuance in the situation. And guys, because this is fiction, because this is not real, nobody's getting hurt about it. We should not be getting mad at each other for our opinions. Okay? But it is a nice point. It's a nice opportunity to talk and figure out why do people think the way they think. Now, the group of people who are okay with his relationship with Rudy's relationship with Eris, they see him as this way. Okay. Now let's talk about something. The fact is, Rudy is a reincarnated being. Go ahead and Google it. Look up the definition of reincarnation. You might be surprised. Reincarnation is a widely believed like faith, right? And a lot of people hypothetically have been reincarnated, and we were something in our past lives. Heck, I could have been a girl in my past life. I could have been a dog in my past life. Reincarnation opens up the whole game, okay? So hypothetically, any one of us could be thousands of years old. Now, the reason why our life and Rudy's life, if we were to accept universally that reincarnation is acceptable, the difference between our life and a character like Rudy's life is that Rudy has retained the memories of reincarnation. Let it marinate, guys. Rudy has retained his memories of reincarnation. That is why he's being held to a different standard than the rest of us, all right? So, I have to be careful how I phrase these things because of sound biting, all right? So, we have to decide right now, because he's retained these memories, right? Are we going to treat him as the soul that inhabits his body? So, he's roughly 45 years old, but he's in that. So, he's a lolly or a Shota. I think that's what we call it, a Shota. Is he a 45-year-old Shota? Okay. Or is he 14-year-old Rudy? Okay. We have to make that decision. We have to decide, who can he be with? And if any of you were in his position, would you be waiting until you were 20 years old so you can find this middle gray area? Could you? Okay. Here's the next thing I'm going to push. If you are so strongly against his relationship with Eris because you view him as this version, let's go to it. Okay, let's go to it. Trying to go. If this is, nope, I can't find it. Okay, I mean, this is good enough, right? This is good enough. He's out the window. If this is the version that you view Rudy as, now I'm gonna say dumb stuff, but this is fiction, and it makes sense if you have an open mind. How would you feel about his relationship with Zenith? Because he's either this character that we're seeing or the Rudy with the blonde hair. If he's this character and you don't want him with Eris, then it should be borderline acceptable, right? Or there's an argument for it to be borderline acceptable from the be with Zenith. I'm already going to say that no, he should not be with Zenith. He should not be with Zenith. That is crazy. But I'm asking the question. I'm throwing it out there to challenge you guys and see how you're processing that, and for you to find potential hypocrisy in your thinking. All of us go through it. Sometimes we're thinking of something, and when presented with another question, another challenge, we have to step back and say, oh, I never thought about it from that angle. Let me add this data into my current way of thinking. Let me rework this and form a new thought. That is part of growing. You knew this until you were introduced to new information. That is part of growing. So, I really think that's about it. Oh, so here's my stance. Actually, Roxy is just perfect because she's 40 and kind of in the same position of him, but she's not really aging. Roxy is actually the perfect person for him. What I think, and this is the modern view, it's almost irrelevant what Eris's age is and what Rudy's age is, because they're just the bodies are too young anyways. Eris, you need to be waiting. It is not your time. Rudy, what are you doing? You didn't even hit 15 yet in this body. Hold it. But here's the other nuance. This is a different time period, right? But the thing is, lots of fans want viewers to submerge themselves into that time period and then make it okay. But no, you can't necessarily expect people to give up their values and, oh, it's anime, that's okay because of a different time period. Or, no, we used to do this back then because it was okay. They also used to have slaves back then. When I see slavery in fiction or anything, I'm like, kill the slave owner. If I saw one brother being carried out by I won't say a homie. If I saw one brother being carried out in chains by somebody, I would not say, oh, look at that time period, it's okay, and give up on my outrage. There's some forefathers, there's some forefathers of this country that if I could see face to face, I would have some words for them. So you shouldn't expect people to give up their values. But I hope that people could do a better job at not labeling a whole group of other people and saying, if you guys all are okay with this episode, you're this. Or when people are not okay with this episode, that we label them as, oh, they're immature, you know, they can't keep an open mind or whatever. Because I really can't find fault with somebody whose primary value is don't mess with little girls, right? And they see this nuance and they have a problem with that. Because the better side of me is going to go, you know what, I support that. I'd rather that than some of the other things that we have to deal with in society. So let's not knock these people that are having a problem with this show. But I do think those that do have a problem with this show, you guys got to be a little bit more open-minded to the fandom and why they see some of the nuances and the gray lines here. But guys, it's tough. It's tough. I don't always talk about these aspects on the reaction videos because I understand that most of y'all already read the manga, or already read the light novel, and you guys already made up in your mind that y'all are right with it. So I'm not going to talk about whether I'm okay with it. What I am going to do is break down the episode, what the author was trying to do, right? Some predictions, some theories, what I like to see a little bit more of, that sort of thing. I also don't make it a thing to bash content. Okay, even there, I didn't bash this episode, right? I don't make it a thing to bash content. The reason why, I don't want to attract viewers that like bashing things, and I just have this negative community. So I'm either going to uplift the content, be objective about the content, and if I really have a problem with it, I'll be honest. My words will be short, and you'll see like, I got nothing to say on this one, man. Or I'm not looking. And I'll tell director or one of my co-hosts, I'll be like, yo, that scene, I don't know about. I don't put a lot of negativity out there because at the end of the day, this is also someone's life work. You know, they're not hurting anybody. You know, they you know, we do these reactions, you know, to help. Hey, it does help the reactor, and it also helps push that writer's content. I'm not gonna bash it. That's their art. But I can see that this one is pushing it, right? But on the back end, guys, yo, Eris, what she did was truly effed up to Rudy, and that's what my current knowledge, episode 22 knowledge, don't give me any other knowledge, right? It was truly effed up to Rudy, but one of the things that is redeeming for her is that she's 15 her goddamn self, and she's always been impulsive. She just acts. And right now, she has her back against the wall from what I found, right? Because they trying to turn this girl into a concubine, right? Ruijerd is gone. Her grandfather's dead. I don't know what this girl is thinking, clearly. But, yo, her actions, I understand it. But, oh my gosh, this is hard. So it's going to be interesting to see how Rudy moves forward from this episode. But yeah, that's my thoughts on some of the controversy. Like I said, I don't get too excited about bashing people's content, and I hope everyone just keeps an open mind. Let me hear what you guys are thinking, because I said some wild stuff too. That Zenith thing, I'm fully expecting someone to say, "Yo, you're a dumbass for thinking that." I fully expect anyone to say that. But again, I already know it. I already know forming the thought like that's a wild thought, but. Is it too wild? Is it too unfounded? I don't know. So anyways, thanks for listening to this video, guys. If you guys are not subscribed, I ask you guys to do so. If you guys want to see more of these discussions, the funny thing is Mushoku Tensei seems to be the series that pushes most of my discussions for these kinds of videos, because they really be pushing it with some things, and I'm like, wow, this writer is something else. They know how to get a conversation going, if nothing else. So like I said, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitch, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to the main channel. Much love to you guys. I'm Rock D Lee. I'm out. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, guys? Your boy Rock Lee. Hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and give us a follow on this Twitch channel. Appreciate you guys' support.
Janet.
Hey, check out our Patreon in the link below. You'll have access to uncut and upcoming reactions, skits, behind the scenes footage, and so much more. Your support goes a long way to helping us with more reactions and original content. Also, thanks for subbing. Set the bell for notifications. Your boy Rock Lee.